Hey everyone, it's Sam here and I've got a fun card to share with you today. This is called a tiered wiper card, and you just pull the sides and you have your characters or whatever it may be pop out the side, and you'll see how they all slide back in again. And this can be displayed open or you can have it a bit more closed depending on obviously the space they have, but it is a beautiful card style and it's actually going to be the start of a bit of a mini series because I'm going to create some more of these. Now the idea, I was actually sent a link to this reel and then I saw it when I was scrolling Instagram myself, and it's from Cary's Creative Table. I'll link all of her details below. I know she has a blog post. Hers is in centimetres, so if you prefer using metric then check out her measurements, but I'm going to be using imperial today, and I'm actually going to do a mini series because when I made this during my craft along, I do a live crafting over on another channel. All of that information will also be linked below if you're interested. As we were making it, I found different ways that I thought would work for the images that I had. So I'm going to show you this way, which is how she's done it. But I did this one. When you'll see on this, when it closes, these sections are different sizes on the front. So you can see there, they're all the same width. Whereas on this one's a bit smaller, and then this one again, and so on. Because I wanted you to see more of these images. Obviously, if this was bigger, you wouldn't see as much. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and then you won't miss out any of these other styles, because I'm going to do some different sizes as well. So I'm going to do another Christmas card today. So it is Christmas in July and I have already got a nice bunch of Christmas cards made. So I'm well ahead for the festive period. So I'm using my Christmas ephemera and again, my Christmas explosion paper pad, but this style card will work for so many different occasions. We were saying in the live, you know, I think underwater scenes, birthdays, ho ho ho, someone's name popping out the side, photographs. There's just so many different things you can do. So I've got a little template there. I've got all of the decoration ready. Do you know what? It's also very easy. If you've made any kind of wiper cards before, I do have quite a few wiper cards on the channel. I will add this into the playlist as well. I'll have that coming up now if you're interested. It is very easy. It's just going to be, you know, the hard part is what to decorate it with. So you want to cut yourself a piece of 5x7, because this is going to be a 5x7 card size, 5x7, and then on top I've added this pattern paper, which is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Then I've got a piece of 5x6, and then the piece on top is 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. Then I've got a piece of 5x5 with a piece of 4 3/4 square on top. And then the front one is where I'm going to have all my decorations, so I've done it a little bit different. That one you can see I've added all the same colour and I've added the sentiment, but on this one I'm going to have my sentiment towards the top and more decoration at the bottom. So this is 5x4 and I've got a piece of 4 3/4 by 3 3/4 in the white, and then 4.5 by 3.5 in the red. And I've just used my brick wall embossing folder because I thought it could look like the front of the North Pole. That was kind of my idea with this anyway. Then to make the tiers, now I do mention when I did the live version, so again I'll link to the live video of this if you like this staggered look as well. You don't have to have all three. You might just want to have one, you know, get rid of those two and just have this, because when you do stick it all together there is about 1/4 of an inch bulk. So if you are posting this, obviously, you know, you need to take that into consideration because of the card that's folded. I'd also recommend a 220, 230 GSM. You don't need a real heavy weight because you're adding mats and layers anyway, that strengthens it. But if you do want to keep the thickness down, you can see if you just add the two, you know, there's not much to it there. You know, it's like a foam pad. So it's up to you. So you want to cut yourself 1 to 3 pieces that are 6.5 by 1.5. So this is the piece that I've adapted, and also from the live I've changed it a bit more. So it's really simple measurements. We were doing like 3/8 of an inch and 5/8 of an inch, which I know for some people they don't like. So I've really simplified this one. So a piece of 6.5 by 1.5, and along the 6.5 side, you want to score at 1, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5.5. You then just want to put a little dent in the card at 4 3/4. Okay. And then 1, 2, the third score line, just fold that in half and pop that along the top of your scoreboard and put a little dent at 1/2 inch. Okay, now I'll hold this up. If you want to take a screenshot, I recommend make yourself that little template and then just pop it in a little, you know, envelope, little clear pocket or something, so you've always got it. Because this, you can actually use this mechanism on lots of different things. You can put it into most folds. If there's a fold somewhere, you could probably add this. So keep that because it's a really cool little mechanism. So where you'll see there, I've added these score lines. So where you've got that little notch on that folded section and the little notch, the little dent along, which is your what was that one, 4 3/4. You just want to join those now together. So that's to one side. I'll keep that in view. I'm scoring from the top of the second score line. Okay, so for me that's here, down to that little marker, which was that 1/2 inch. And so I've just scored down to there. Now I'm going to score from there up to that 4 3/4 little marker. So you can see now there you go. So what you want to do is fold all of those score lines, burnish them well, and then you want to just fold down to that 1/2 inch, and again that side. And once you've done that, you should now be able to push the whole thing in and just keep it all nice and lined up. What's going to happen once you've folded it like that is this is going to fold over, but you'll find you'll get some resistance. So you just take a tiny little slither off. It's easier to just do this than to give you a funny measurement. Just a little slither and then fold that over, and you want to make sure that all folds nice and flat. You can then stick that together. So just add a little glue like so, and then fold that over. And you'll see now you've got this little rectangle, little tube, for you to look at it that way, but you'll have this little folded section, and that is where the lever will go to allow those elements to pop out. You want to redo that 3 times. So you've got these 3 pieces, or like I said, the 1 piece, you don't have to have all 3. You also want to cut yourself your levers. Again, these are a slightly different measurement to what I did in the live, just to simplify it even more. And these are 3 pieces that are all 1 inch wide, but I've got one that is 6, one that is 5.5, and then this one must be 5. Yeah, you will trim them again probably, but we want them to, you know, pop out at the moment so we can see where we're sticking the elements. So that is everything you need. So next you want to take one of these and fold it down like this. So you'll have your sloped section facing you, and you'll have a 1 inch section there, and then on the back you'll have your square and then the sloped section. So on the back here, this whole part where we want to be adding our glue. Okay, so just cover the whole piece, and you're going to stick this to your largest piece. So this is my 5x7 piece, and it's going to go right down in the bottom corner. And you want to make sure it's nice and flat with the bottom, because that's obviously going to help it all stand. Okay, and then whilst that's drying, you want to take the tallest of these pieces, and this is going to sit, if I explain it first, this is going to sit, you'll see it's 1 inch. It's going to go right in to that section. You want to stick it in when it's upright. So because that's a triangle, you only need to cover, so if you flip it like this, you only need to cover that little bit there. Okay, and then just slide that in, and just focus on this being a right angle here. Keep that nice and straight, and you can do a little test here, and you could do this, you know, like I said, make your sample, you know, play around first, don't even stick it onto here, but grab a bit of scrap card and make this piece, and then if you lift this, you'll see how that comes all the way down, and that's going to have your whatever it may be on the end of it. Okay, so you can do a test run and just make sure nothing's sticking and that moves really nicely, which it does. Then you can stick your next panel over the top. So all you need to do this time is add your glue to the sloped section. You're not sticking anything to that edge. That is what you see when the card is open, because it has a really nice profile. I'll show you here. You can see how neat and nice that looks on the side. So that's those sections there. So again, cover that, and then you want to make sure that this sits perfectly flush with the bottom of the card, and you want to be able to see a little bit there, because that's what I'm going to attach I'm going to have the little elves attached. Now this is where you may stop. You've got a lovely big panel there to decorate. You're going to obviously have something hidden behind there. It will still stand up, which that's completely dry, but if you just pull that out, there's your pop-up, and that does stand. But you could put that onto a 5x7 top fold if you wanted a bit more stability for it. Once you add the other 2, it doesn't need that. It's got plenty of stability. Your space to write your message would be on the back with it like this. You know, you can see there, that's not going anywhere. That's very secure. Then you're going to take another one and you do the same thing. You're going to add your glue to the back of that square section. And again, right down into that bottom right-hand corner. And then you're going to take your next size lever. And again, just going to add a little glue just into the corner, like so. You could, if you wanted to, open this up and add your glue. I do it actually all in this section. If you find that easier, because you know that's exactly where the glue needs to go, then do that instead. Just don't obviously squash it together because it will stick. But again, just stick that down. You can line it up with the one you stuck down before, and you can see I've got a nice right angle there. And then add your glue to the sloped section. And then you're going to take your next size. And again, line it up with this corner and all the other parts to make sure that's all nice and lined up, like so. And then you're going to stick the last one down. You're going to stick that one in the same way, and then I'll come back when we stick that one on. Okay, so now again, just the glue on that sloped section. Okay, so that is all secure. So now you can do again another little test. If you wanted to, I don't think you need to give an instruction with the card, but I did think if you did feel you need to, you could put a little tab on this side that says pull. But you're just gonna, look at that. Isn't that really fun? The idea is I want to have the Christmas is going to be attached to the top of this one because I want it to sit within the 5x7 envelope. The wishes is going to stick here so that when it's closed, you can see how that will sit there and that will be there. So it looks nice when they take it out of the envelope. So that's where my sentiment's going to go. And then for the pop out elements, I'm going to have him. Actually, I might have him in the middle. Two girls on either side. So I want them to be as close to the edges as possible. So I think about there. So you only need a little, if it's a small image like mine, then you only need to keep a little bit. But like I said, if you've got something bigger, you can see how much space you've got there. So now he can just be attached on that little bit there. Oh, I've just changed them again, haven't I? Never mind. And she can go there. And then she's going to go there. And just any ends that you've got, just maybe curve them away from you. Just slightly curve them under, just so again, it's just a bit smoother going in. But just do a little test. There you go. How fun. Love it. Absolutely love it. So next I'm going to decorate the front. So I'm going to have Santa in the middle, and then I'm going to have all the toys and the North Pole sign all exploding behind him. Like I said, I've popped some foam. That's going to attach to that one. And that one is going to attach to that one. And just anything you stick on these, just make sure it doesn't interfere with your, pop-up bits when you kind of open and close it. But I'll get that all finished and then I'll show you it all at the end. So there's the finished card. I've also done my envelope as well. Make sure I make all my envelopes as I make my cards. So I've got Santa there with an explosion of presents behind him. And then we've got cute little elves. Now I have positioned them again ever so slightly. Another little tip I think with this is whatever you do attach here, just have a little bit of it just tucked under. It will help everything slide as well a little bit easier. If it's just like a circle or something, then that's fine. But I find if you've got little bits like the ears and stuff, they may catch. So just have a little bit. And I think they look quite good on an angle because it looks like they're just kind of poking out to say hi. Another idea I've got for when I do some more of this style is having sentiments on these sections, because as you close it, that all completely hides. So it'd be nice as you pull it, you see maybe a stamped image or a sentiment, then you pull it again, you'll see another one, and then so on. So lots of ways to adapt this, change the heights, you don't have to have all three. And then, like I said, with this one, change the width. So keep the height as I've given you here, but just bring it in to work with whatever you might have. If you've got something bigger, then you would definitely benefit from bringing the sides in of this front one and the next one, because you can see how much bigger these are compared to the smaller images here. I just found that I was more restricted. If you stick to the full width of this one, then you can have smaller images. But if you play around with those widths, then you can have bigger images. And I'll be going through all of this with the series when I'm going to be sharing, like I said, some other styles and different orientations as well, because we did have lots of suggestions in the live. So like I said, that will be linked below if you want to go and see how I made this one. But I hope you like this version of mine. And again, thank you to the lady, Cary's Creative Table, for the inspiration there. Like I said, hers is in centimetres, so if you prefer those measurements, then just follow the link and that will be in the description box below. As always, thank you for watching today. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Hit the thumbs up if you've enjoyed today and drop me a comment as well. Let me know if you're going to make this style and maybe some ideas that you might have. Take care as always, and I'll see you in the next one.